In other stories, CCC legislators in dilemma over the next course of action after Chamisa's resignation. And in sport, Giants JBC suffer a 51-50 defeat to Bucks in a tightly contested basketball match. We'll now get into these stories in detail. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has joined fellow African heads of state for the Italy-Africa Summit in the Italian capital, Rome, this Monday. The details.
More than 20 African countries attended the Italy-Africa Summit in Rome this Monday. 13 countries, including Zimbabwe, were represented at head of state level, while the other countries were represented at prime ministerial and ministerial level. The summit saw the Italian Prime Minister presenting her plan for Africa, dubbed the Mattei Plan, which was named after an Italian public administrator, Enrico Mattei. The plan was to ensure that Italy partners with Africa for its development. As she outlined the plan, she made it clear that the destinies of the European Union as well as the African continent are intertwined, hence the need to work together. She said biased stories about Africa being a poor continent need to be dismantled given the vast resources as well as human capital that is there on the African continent. Prime Minister Meloni also did highlight that the world cannot continue to plan development while excluding Africa, as this is a powerhouse that has a role to play in global development. The African Union Commission Chairperson, His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, said while the African continent has vast natural resources, the continent faces challenges in funding. He emphasized the need for the discourse of partnering Africa to move from being a talk show to practical action on the ground. European Union President Ursula von der Leyen echoed the same sentiments, saying Europe has a role to play in the development of the African continent. She, however, did raise alarm on the fact that despite the commitment to clean energy, only 2% of funds for clean energy are dedicated to the African continent, something which she said needs to be addressed.
Today, only 2% of global investments in clean energy go to Africa. This is sobering. This is very sobering, given Africa's immense potential as a clean energy powerhouse. Africa has the space, the wind, the sun, just to name a few. What it lacks is infrastructure. But together, we can change this.
Meanwhile, President Mnangagwa presented a paper on the state of food security in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe is modernizing and scaling up the development of mechanization and smart agriculture technologies. Additionally, there is deliberate support for the growing of drought-tolerant and organic traditional cereal crops, which are in turn positively impacting on the nutrition and the health of our people. The use of climate-proof interventions such as irrigation development and the drilling of boreholes is being increased. As a result, Zimbabwe has now attained both household and the national food security and nutrition. Since 2020, my government has invested over $2 billion in water infrastructure, such as construction of dams and reservoirs, irrigation development.
The president is accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Frederick Shava, the Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Professor Mthuli Ncube, as well as the Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Anxious Masuka. Josephine Mugio, ZBC News, Rome.
Back home, government has launched the oral cholera vaccination program with the initiative targeting hotspots countrywide. Let's get more from our news crews.
Residents of Kwadzana suburb in Harare were the first to receive the oral cholera vaccination OCV during the launch of the program this Monday.
Garbage collection.
The vaccination program is also expected to be rolled out in Glenview, Budiriro, Hetfield and Chitungwiza. Harare Metropolitan Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Senator Charles Tavengwa, who was representing Health and Child Care Minister Dr. Douglas Mombeshora, highlighted the importance of the vaccination program, which has been rolled out with support from development partners such as UNICEF and the World Health Organization.
The vaccine campaign represents a critical step forward in intensifying our collective efforts to eliminate cholera scourge.
Development partners in the city of Harare pledged to continue collaborating with government to eradicate the epidemic. The vaccination program will see 2.3 million vaccine doses being deployed to 29 of the hardest hit districts, targeting everyone, including children above a year old. Zimbabwe has so far received more than 8,000 doses, with the remainder expected in the country early next month.
The cholera vaccination program is also set to be rolled out in Chiredzi district this Wednesday. In an interview with ZBC News this Monday, Chiredzi district medical officer Dr. Brian Dandara said the cholera vaccination exercise is part of government efforts to contain the epidemic.
We have done the preliminary sensitization of our communities, and the communities have accepted the vaccination well. We are targeting ages from 1 year and above in all cholera hotspot wards in our district.
Meanwhile, as part of efforts to contain the outbreak in Mapanza area of Chiredzi East, government has sunk boreholes while other stakeholders have assisted in construction of ablution facilities. The local community has since welcomed the move, which is meant to save lives. More than 153 cholera treatment centers have been established across the country since the outbreak of the epidemic in February last year.
Meanwhile, SADC member states have been implored to reinforce cholera response mechanisms as the region battles an outbreak of the epidemic.
SADC health ministers met over the weekend to assess the cholera situation in the region and identify possible measures to comprehensively prevent and control the disease at a time when 5 SADC member states are battling the epidemic. The SADC Council of Ministers also met virtually this Monday with Executive Secretary Mr. Elias Mahosi underscoring the importance of addressing the underlying drivers of the cholera outbreak at national level.
It is our strong belief that mitigating cholera requires a thorough review of our national climate adaptation plans to ensure the inclusion of robust multi-sectoral strategies that account for climate-sensitive health issues.
Angola Minister of Foreign Affairs and Chairperson of the SADC Council of Ministers, Honorable Tete Antonio, weighed in saying collaborated efforts are needed to end the cholera scourge.
This scenario claims for a coordinated regional responses to face this challenge, as no country can fight on its own a disease such as cholera, which knows no borders.
Acting Foreign Affairs and International Trade Minister Professor Amon Murira says Zimbabwe has put in place various initiatives to fight the epidemic, including the National Oral Cholera Vaccine Program, which was launched this Monday.
The Council of Ministers agreed to 1. Enhance coordination responses across and within borders to effectively control and limit the spread of the disease. 2, to prioritize the mobilization of resources for the deployment of a robust response to the outbreak. 3, to strengthen public health surveillance to improve the rate of detection and limit the spread of cholera, and to coordinate activities in country and within the region, as well as with partners to equip laboratories.
SADC heads of state and government will meet virtually on Friday to deliberate on the outbreak and efforts to end the spread of cholera in the region. Olin Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
Acting President Comrade Kembo Mohadi has urged the Pelandaba Chabalala community to vote for ZANU-PF candidate Comrade Joseph Chuma in this Saturday's by-elections to sustain the Second Republic's inclusive development agenda.
Acting President Comrade Kembo Campbell Dukish Mohadi, who addressed the ZANU-PF rally in Kulumane to drum up support for Comrade Chuma, called on the electorate to endorse the development-oriented ruling party come the 3rd of February. Comrade Mohadi highlighted that ZANU-PF government is working round the clock to address challenges facing the city of Bulawayo, including water shortages, sewage reticulation, and dilapidated infrastructure.
Votalenini ZANU-PF, votalenini uChuma. Sifuna ukuthi ugolide come 23rd February angene egijima engathandabuzi evotelwe yini ukuthi khona izikhalazo zenu zifezeke. Bentshela ngokuthi khona kufuneka ama title deeds eminyela ngale lapho kuhlala khona abantu bethu abadala kakhulu. Iminyela is an old township, angithi? So ama title deeds is not an event, it's a process. Siqalise Epworth sizafika eminyela.
Turning to the revitalization of Bulawayo industries, Acting President Mohadi said government continues to allot resources for retooling of local companies while also financing young and new entrepreneurs as an empowerment process for local business people.
Khonapha koBulawayo sesavuselela ama companies njengo Traeger, labo Archer Clothing, United Refineries, Dat Labs, and Kango Products. We have revived them. Konapa Bulawayo. That's the development that we have done.
Zimbabwe will hold 6 National Assembly by-elections on the 3rd of February after CCC legislators were recalled by opposition parties' Interim Secretary General Mr. Sengezo Chabang. Sifiso Spanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The late national hero, Colonel retired Kenny Rizai Mabuya, has been described as a true revolutionary who was committed to the development of the country.
Having first met with the late Colonel retired Kenny Rizai Mabuya in Lusaka, Zambia in 1969, Colonel retired Midson Mpaso says the late military strategist and intelligence supremo was a humble and soft-spoken cadre.
Kenny Kwandiri Munu aiva akanyorovesa zvokuti aukwanise kuziva zvaari chaizvo kana kuti zvaanoda chaizvo asi aine a revolutionary mind.
To the family, he was a loving man.
Wayengubaba olungileyo, engubaba ohlakaniphileyo, engubaba olobuntu. He was a very loving father, spending time with us, doing so many things. When out, even kutamba music, Shaiyo would actually do that with our father.
Colonel retired Mabuya, whose Chimurenga name was Comrade Kenny Rizai, was born in 1952 in Filabus, Matebeleland South Province, where he began his school. Comrade Rizai went to Lusaka for military training before departing for Itumbi training camp in Tanzania in December 1969 and returned to Zimbabwe in 1972. In 1977, the late national hero was sent to China for further military training, where he was appointed to lead an advance group to the Lancaster House Conference in 1979. After independence in 1980, the late Colonel retired Mabuya was attested into the Zimbabwe National Army in 1981. During his illustrious career in the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, the late senior officer held several challenging appointments before his retirement in 1994 after receiving several accolades. Colonel retired Mabuya died on the 22nd of this month and was declared a national hero. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Dinson Iron and Steel Company has signed a cooperation agreement with a Chinese firm for the construction of a 400 kilovolt transmission power line from Sherwood to Manize, providing a boost to the country's steel plant project in Mvuma.
A Zimbabwean delegation led by the Minister of Energy and Power Development, Honorable Edgar Moyo, is in the ancient city of Xi'an in China, touring a power utility China XD Group, among other projects. The delegation is exploring areas of cooperation which include project financing, joint ventures and technical support. Honorable Moyo witnessed a signing ceremony between Dinson Group and Xi'an Electrical Engineering for the construction of a power line this Monday. The agreement, which was also witnessed by the Zimbabwe Electricity Transmission and Distribution Company Acting Managing Director Engineer Abel Grupira, will see the two parties are working together in the construction of the 400 kilovolt transmission line from Sherwood in Kwekwe to the Manize steel plant. It is also expected to accelerate operations of a blast furnace set to be commissioned this year. ZESA Holdings Executive Chairperson Dr. Sidney Gata said that the power utility is committed to supporting the agreement.
We also need to be able to transfer energy between countries around us, because most of the transmission systems come through our country. And therefore, for that purpose, we are putting up a cable and conductor manufacturing company, and we shall also enjoy the partnership with the Dinson Group, which provides the structural stream for transmission development.
The Zimbabwean delegation, which is on an energy mission in China, also held meetings with China XD Group Chairman Mr. Ding Xiaolin. China has become Zimbabwe's biggest energy partner after providing funding for the Hwange Thermal Power Station Unit 7 and 8 expansion project. Stanley James, ZBC News.
To the courts now, where Citizens Coalition for Change senior officials Job Sikala and Godfrey Sitole, who were convicted of inciting public violence in 2022, are set to be sentenced this Tuesday.
In their mitigation submissions this Monday, Scala and Stolle pleaded for non-custodial sentences, arguing that a jail term would be double punishment since they were in pre-trial detention. Scala pleaded with the court for a wholly suspended sentence, while Stolle begged to be warned, cautioned, and discharged. In aggravation, the state argued that a custodial sentence for the duo would best serve the interest of justice, as the offense was committed under aggravating circumstances. The prosecutor further argued that when the offense was committed, Scala and Stolle were in positions of authority and their influence negatively impacted on the community where property was destroyed. The offense carries a minimum jail term of 3 years with a maximum of 10 years. The duo will be sentenced Tuesday afternoon. Meanwhile, Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development Deputy Director, Road Services Division, Ernest Shenje, who is facing allegations of fraud involving $200,000, was placed on remand after his application challenging the legality of his arrest was quashed. Shenje was nabbed by the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission after he allegedly facilitated fraudulent payments for compensation of property that was affected by construction of the Mbudzi interchange to an individual named as Levi Idana. Shenje, who was further remanded in custody, will be back in court Tuesday for bail application pending trial. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
For more news, log on to our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw. Also interact with us on our social media platforms, on X, on Facebook, that's at ZBC News Online. Remember also to visit and subscribe to our YouTube as well as our WhatsApp channels, that's at ZBC News Online. And here are stories still to come. CCC legislators in dilemma over the next course of action after Chamisa's resignation. In In sport, Giants JBC suffer a 51-50 defeat to Bucks in a tightly contested basketball match. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Please give me something cold, something real.
For big test?
Yes, big test. This is awesome, man.
Do the juice.
This is the right choice, Zimbabwe.
This is a rider ad, and this is what a rider ad is all about. Expensive shooting is not a big deal. Celebrity explaining the rider app and how to set your price for the ride. Thanks, but no. The only thing that matters is low price rides. Get one with Rider.
It's time to get stepping, because if you upgrade your DSTV subscription now, we'll step you up to an even higher package.
Respect that.
Upgrade now and step up to even more action. Step up to more football. Step up to more local drama. Step up to more fun and get more than you pay for. Upgrade now and get boosted to the next package at no extra cost. And upgrade to step up and get boosted.
This is a rider ad, and this is what a rider ad is all about. Expensive shooting is not a big deal. Celebrity explaining the rider app and how to set your price for the ride. Thanks, but no. The only thing that matters is low price rides. Get one with Rider.
The Farm Shop Shamaria Hurudza promotion is back. Yebo yes, and this time we are rewarding our customers in a big way. The grand prize is a 25 horsepower tractor plus implements. Come and get NTS Macy's 10 kg hybrid or 20 of OPV. Come invest in your farming needs. 2 bags of AN and 2 bags of compound D. Brought to you by Farm Shop Shamari Yehuruza.
It's time to get stepping, because if you upgrade your DSTV subscription now, we'll step you up to an even higher package.
Respect that.
Upgrade now and step up to even more action. Step up to more football. Step up to more local drama. Step up to more fun and get more than you pay for. Upgrade now and get boosted to the next package at no extra cost. And upgrade to step up and get boosted.
This is a rider ad, and this is what a rider ad is all about. Expensive shooting is not a big deal. Celebrity explaining the rider app and how to set your price for the ride. Thanks, but no. The only thing that matters is low price rides. Get one with Rider.
At Secondary Book Press, we are in the business of unlocking knowledge, from our +1 primary school textbooks to our Excel advanced level textbooks. We equip ECD to 4-6 learners for tomorrow. Grounded in the current curriculum, we help open the minds of our future citizens with easy to understand and richly illustrated content and ZIMSEC prep through seasonal examinations. Call or WhatsApp on 0712 560 870 or email us at sales@secondarybookpress.co.zw.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The future of the Opposition Citizens Coalition for Change hangs in the balance amid confusion over the next move after the resignation of party leader Advocate Nelson Chamisa.
Days after Triple C leader Advocate Nelson Chamisa stepped down, party members, particularly legislators, are in a dilemma over the next course of action. It is a catch-22 situation with confusion on whether to remain in parliament or to resign. The social media space, particularly X, has been a battleground for the legislators and followers with regards to a common position after only one legislator, Honorable Fadzai Mahere, tendered her resignation to Parliament in solidarity with Advocate Chamisa. Another clique of legislators, including Caston Mateo and Richard Tsvangirai, however, appears to be defiant, claiming that they stand guided by the electorate. Political analyst Mr. Sympathy Paspanojka contends what is at play in the opposition ranks is politics of supremacy and self-gain.
The CCC continues to be a charade. We have seen lack of seriousness. We have seen Chamisa and his cronies taking the people of Zimbabwe for a ride. What happens to the people that had voted his CCC MPs into office? So it begs the question to the seriousness. Are they there to serve the people of Zimbabwe, or are they there to serve themselves?
Another political commentator, Mr. Takuzwa Gambiza, believes the chaos in the opposition outfit is a manifestation of Chamisa's divisive leadership strategy, which seeks to keep the nation in election mode.
The confusion was self-designed by Mr. Chamisa because he created a cult around himself, a political cult, the politics of strongman politics, where there is a weak institution and a strongman. That's what he has done with the CCC. And now he's taking everyone for granted. This is an interesting development which undermines all tenets to do with democracy, where an individual threatens the whole structure of democracy. And they are even threatening to say if the MPs were to resign, that is a threat to the national fiscus, to the national budget, because now the country will be made to fork out a lot of millions of dollars.
Amid the chaos, some are putting on a brave face, with CCC spokesperson Promise Mkwananzi using the party's official ex-handle to call for calm among the party office bearers. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
Government says it will continue to ensure veterans of the liberation struggle are part of the national development agenda through various empowerment initiatives.
In an exclusive interview with ZBC News in Harare this Monday, veterans of the liberation struggle Minister Ambassador Christopher Mchangwa said the former freedom fighters are part of government's infrastructure development matrix by virtue of their organizational prowess.
All of these projects are government driven. The investment side may be private sector originated, but the infrastructure side is driven by the government, of which the CEO of the government is the president. So here lies the golden opportunity whereby he will use his office to create a new infrastructure to support this emerging economy. And along the way, he has a chance to make sure that the war veterans, who have been anyway the visionaries behind this project, can now become part of the new economic dispensation of a global economy, which the president is now delivering to Zimbabweans and to Africa.
Ambassador Mchangwa also revealed the government is in the process of improving the welfare of veterans of the liberation struggle, including their pensions.
We are happy that we now have a Ministry of War Veterans, which of course the First Republic tried as much as possible to resist. The president has since have that ministry. We are in cabinet where decisions are made, where cabinet is, where the budget is actually applied. It's applied from cabinet. So we will be working to make sure that we address this burning issue of the welfare pensions of the war veterans.
Government is availing empowerment opportunities for veterans of the liberation struggle, including in sectors such as agriculture and mining, as well as paying school fees for children of the country's liberators. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Sports next after this break.
The Liquor Licensing Board under the Ministry of Local Government and Public Works is now accepting renewals for the fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Remember, all applications are done online at zimeservices.pfms.gov.zw. Simply attach A. Copy of the current license, B. ZBC radio or TV license, which is available at any ZBC office nationwide, and C. Health inspection report. For a liquor license, you need the following: 1. Letter of approval by local authority. 2. Health inspection report. 3. Copy of the approved plan. 4. Evidence of right of occupation. 5. Proof of publication in the Government Gazette and in the local paper LG1. 6. Affidavit. 7. Certified ID or passport for the licensee and the manager. 8. Company resolution and CR14 form. 9. Police clearance for the licensee and the manager. For more information, contact 0242 704 571. Renew your liquor license and watch your business grow.
This is a rider ad, and this is what a rider ad is all about. Expensive shooting is not a big deal. Celebrity explaining the rider app and how to set your price for the ride. Thanks, but no. The only thing that matters is low price rides. Get one with Rider.
Time now for sport. Giants JBC suffered their first loss in 2 seasons after a 51-50 defeat at the hands of Bucks in a tightly contested Harare Basketball Association Super 6 encounter at the weekend.
Having gone the entire season unbeaten and notching 10 successive victories in the new campaign, JBC were reminded that there is no immortality in sport by Bucks. Bucks, who were the closest to beating JBC last season when they lost 2 matches by a point, managed to do better this Saturday when they edged the defending champions 51-50. A veteran Agrippa Masusi led the scoring for Bucks with 19 points, while successfully managing to stop the free-scoring trio of JBC Noah Penduka, Devon Fachi and Captain Ben Nyatanga. In other matches, Varsity Academy thumped their cousins Use Stars 61-30, while Maribou's edged Hounds 60-53. In the ladies section, Sparks were yet to test defeat this season, got the better of a new side Blades 54-22. Blades took over the franchise of JBC ladies, who have been left with just the men's side. In other matches, Vixens beat Phillies 37-25, while Bunnies walloped the Hornets 62-44. In rugby, defending Paramount Garments under-20 champions Old Georgians edged Old Ararens in a fiercely contested match at Harare Sports Club. The two teams had their famous battles last season, and this Saturday was no exception as fans were treated to some exciting rugby by the Future Stars. Our 5-time champions Pitbulls had no mercy for Harare Sports Club after clobbering them 38-15. Northern Chiefs and Zimbiri drew 18-0, while FS Raiders beat Marondra Talons 22-12. Lawrence Truseda, ZBC News, Harare.
We conclude with a look at what is happening at the AFCON tournament. Now, the first round of 16 match of the AFCON tournament pitting Cape Verde and Mauritania ended 1-0 in favor of Cape Verde, and Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire clashed in another encounter that comes to your screens just after this bulletin. Enjoy that match and have a good night.
ZBC Current Affairs, leading the conversation on local, regional and international news. We bring you the stories that shape the nation and the world. Be it social trends, economic and political developments, State of the Nation addresses, independence celebrations, Heroes and Defense Forces Day commemorations, and other